but I remember when you were on WWF, asking people to write a letter for Hulk Hogan to get better.
Yeah, I remember that.
You should have seen the letters that came in.
Yeah, I got a little. I had the little postcard as a kid that they mailed back.
Yeah,
That
it's in the back.
I was probably like 9 or 10 at the time.
I mean, I have a ton. I mean, I collect all stuff. I got a hockey game that came out on figures and stuff. And then I got 4 more sets of full figures that I've picked up through the years. I love Hasbro's. I love. They did the new series. I don't know if they made any more of them. They were. Mattel was doing some of the Hasbro lights.
Oh, the retro figures.
Yeah, the retro figures. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, I have a whole like it's literally like a case full. I still have them.
Oh yeah. I collect them. I've almost got a full collection of all of them.
I'm missing
I've got
a lot of them.
And triples and stuff like that. I just pick them up because I like them anyway. Even if they're battered, abused, like some kid had fun with them.
Well, yeah.
You know,
I'm one of them.
that's a big deal.
I'm one of them right here. Oh, the LGNs?
Yeah. Hogan just signed one of mine and I also had a mail away.
Oh, that's a rare one, I think. Yeah, I think it's a rare one, yeah.
I've got LGNs too, because I worked with some of those guys, but those AWA did the first figures, and then LJN out of Canada did those. And there was actually double box sets. I'd never seen those until somebody shared it with me. Probably about 2 months ago, when they came 2 figures to a box, just random guys.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
I had a 16-inch Hogan.
Oh yeah. With the pull string.
It wasn't the pull string; it was the shirt and belt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I had that when I was a kid, and it got tore up, and I went to a thrift store 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I had it, usually you find it, or he doesn't have the shirt or the
Yeah.
belt.
Oh, that's awesome.
They had everything.
I love going there. I go to the junk store, Goodwill, all this stuff. My wife's, I'm like a big, she knows I am, but she's just as bad, so that's why we get along. You know what I'm saying? I do videos over on and share them on Facebook. She's got a ring full of wrestlers and stuff because I buy them because some of my grandkids are into them now. So I get, I pick them up. I picked up several rings and stuff. Yeah, of the older stuff. So that, along with some older stuff. So it's kind of cool. Yeah. That's cool.
Hey, how was it like at WrestleMania 8 when you were surrounded by like thousands and thousands of fans?
Oh, it's awesome. You gotta remember, you're surrounded by thousands, but think of the millions that are watching on Facebook. I mean, it's unbelievable. But one of the coolest things I got to do was 92 Wembley SummerSlam.
Oh yeah, that too.
Oh, I have posters that they took and confiscated. Jimmy Hart came running in the back. He's got a sports bar at Daytona. If you're ever in Florida, Daytona Beach, he's got a sports bar right on the beach on his house.
Jimmy Hart does?
Oh,
Jimmy Hart does, yeah.
We were down there in Orlando. We stopped at Hogan's Beach Shop.
Is it right
we just missed him. We just missed him. Like, he was out here at Frank and Sons, and we were on vacation. And then when we got to his shop, he was coming back, and I was like,
oh my God, Jimmy's awesome. He's the hardest working guy in the business. But he won SummerSlam. They confiscated posters that they were selling outside of Wembley.
Yeah.
Bootlegs. And they were better than
the originals.
The original?
They were like 5 or 6 years. Hey baby, look what I got for you, baby. Look at it. They confiscated the whole truckload.
Oh wow.
So we got above my kitchen cabinets. One of the posters up there, it's in my kitchen. I had it done and stuff, framed in.
Oh, good.
And it's up there along with Spain. Spain, they had. You can find them sometimes on eBay. They had these figures. When we went there, we wrestled right before the Olympics in the Olympic Stadium for Sky Channel. We did TV there. And they had these dolls. They were like this big. But they were thick. They looked like marionettes.
Yeah.
And there was like Boss Man, Warrior, Hogan, and I think Ted DiBiase. And I don't know. That may have been it. Like 4. because I seen one come up on eBay, and I almost was tempted to get it. I kicked myself in the butt for not getting it. I've seen them there because there's stuff in Europe and Japan and stuff like that they just released in Japan right now. Oh my God, it looks almost like a squeezy toy for a dog. Andre the Giant.
Oh.
And it's cool. It's like, it's big and thick, but it looks like it's a squeezy toy. It comes in a bag with a top on it. Yeah.
That's his absolute favorite
Andre is awesome. He'd always see it sitting in the locker room and play cribbage. He liked to play cribbage. Yeah, a lot of times with Arnold Skoll, an old timer that wrestled years ago. He was one of the road agents, and he'd be in the back there, and they'd be playing cards, you know, and he'd have some red wine over us. Oh my God. But he was awesome. He was an awesome guy. Yeah. As long as if he didn't like you, you had a...
that's what I
He'd
heard.
punched a couple of guys before, and he was a strong guy.
That's like getting hit by a king-size skillet.
Yeah, I've watched wrestling since I'm like these kids' ages. Wake up on a Saturday morning and I watch my cartoons, and I collect cartoons. But I watch cartoons, and then wrestling in Florida was a territory, and championship wrestling from Florida. Gordon Soley was the announcer, and he would 11 to 12. Then watch wrestling. I'd be on my hands watching wrestling on TV,
I
and
would do the same thing with you guys.
then out the door and play with my friends. Play basketball, football, whatever. Ride bikes. But yeah, it was my life coming up. I didn't get to go to my first live event until I was in high school. I was playing football, wrestling. I shot discus, and I went with the guys from my wrestling team. We went to Miami Beach Convention Center. It was my first live show. It was like, guys, I got to see Skinny Andre when he was like young in the business. I was like, wow, but he was still, huge. You don't see nobody like that. And Briscoe Brothers, the Funks, Dusty, Malenko, who that's who trained me. Dean Malenko's dad. Boris Malenko, yeah. The man with the one, you'd say the one-eyed man is king. Yeah, because he'd do some managing too. He was a good talker. Good talker. I miss a lot of that stuff now. There's a lot of talking, a little bit of talking in the interviews and stuff, which is so much better.
Yeah.
The guys had personality, and they were, and the managers were incredible. The Bobby Heenans.
Oh gosh, that's Mr. Fuji and Slick.
Yeah.
That's funny. I was
My Papa's a pig.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
Fuji was awesome.
So who did you enjoy the most, Typhoon or Tugboat?
I liked all of them. Every gimmick. And when I first came to WWE, before they gave me in all three encyclopedias, if you look in the front, Big Steel Man. That was my first gimmick coming in. I'd wrestled in Florida. I went to Austria to wrestle overseas for 2 days with the champion there, Otto Vance. And then I came back, and they go, WCW called the office, and WWF called the office. They go, and we had a meeting there and everything like that. And, it was cool wrestling there because all the guys, it was like sitting down with, you had 5 or 6 dads. They would talk to you and stuff like that. This is this and this is that. But ultimately, you have to make that final decision. About where you want to go. I always wanted to go to WWF, but I'm like, am I good enough? Because every great guy that there was. When I walked, the first time I went for a dark match was in Niagara Falls. And I walked through I almost pulled the whole curtain down going through. Shockmaster moment.
I heard there was a 2x4 put down. I think Jimmy Cornette or someone put the 2x4 down that day, not the night before or something.
The way the wall was is like 11 foot tall, 5-inch sheetrock, like it was a wall in your house. It was 12 2x4 studs every 12 to 14 inches. And the wall wasn't gimmicked. They didn't fix it so it would break.
Oh.
So a guy named Mike Graham, who was a wrestler, he gave me the cue for the deal, and he's like, he goes, Fred, you know, first of all, they showed me the mask like half hour, 45 minutes before they're going to do this deal, and it's live TV, it wasn't taped. And they go, Dusty, you know, baby, you got to put this, you know, wear this thing here. You know, and I put this thing on, and glitter's coming as two little drilled eye holes. I still have the mask.
Right.
I own the mask. And I'm like, the glitter's coming through, and so no, baby, we can't have that. So they had the secretary take off her pantyhose, and they cut patches out of her pantyhose and glued them over the eye hole, the little pinholes. So it'll go from like this to look out holes to nothing, you know. So when they go, okay, I can do it, you know. I go back there, and Mike Graham's going to give me the cue when to bust the wall. He's like, Fred, you're going to have to hit this wall hard, man.
Uh-oh.
Because they didn't give it this wall, you're going to have to hit it hard. And I'm like, you know, I was benching 650, I was deadlifting 800 and that. I'm like, you know, I'll break this wall. I've broken them in my house before. I was going to break one of these. So he goes, okay, he gives me the cue. There's no way to microphone it, you know, so, you know.
Yeah, it just wasn't.
What happened.
You know, voiceover wasn't me, you know, and
It's only Anderson, wasn't
yeah, Mr. Grumpy Pants. But that's right, I am Shockmaster. But I hit the thing right below my knees because of the height of the wall. They put a 2x4 across there. So my feet, I'm this close to the wall. Double axe handle like this, I blew the boards out. I broke like 5 boards, and I went, became a human teeter-totter.
Oh.
And the thing pops off like champagne cork, so I'm turning my head like this so they can't see. Everybody's in shock.
What were you thinking when you went down?
Getting the helmet on my head. I turn my face, if you look, I'm like this to the wall, to you know, try and, you know, pull it back up, and I jump up and go through the motions, you know, and you know, always doing the deal, you know, and now, you know, the rest is history. There's live TV, there's no do-overs.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, back in the day, I worked on WWF stuff, and, you know, you'd work 4 hours of TV, they'd come in there and have dark matches, and then they would do live TV, and then there'd be 2 more hours if you ever been to a show. And I've seen many a guy, I'm not the only one that did it, okay, or else a match, maybe in the first hour, Vince didn't like the way it was, and you'd have to come back out. I never had that, but they would come out for the last hour, you know, because you'd have boards here. They tell you the matches for the evening, so you know who you're working with and everything over the course of the evening.
Yeah.
You know, who's working. Some guys got the night off, you know what I'm saying, if you were, you know, lucky. You know, but I mean, you'd have to be at the buildings at 12 o'clock noon. If you were late, you'd be fine. And then you'd be doing photo shoots. New merchandise that's coming out, like when they had the ice cream bars and stuff. You'd be doing photos for the magazines and stuff, the WWF magazine, and for ads and everything. Nintendo, Super Nintendo. You know, ads for those things, for the figures. You know, they do, you know, certain guys would be doing that, you know, doing spots with that, you know, where they're, you know, playing with the, you know, the kids are playing in the ring, or you're over here and they're cutting promos like Macho Man, or, you know, Ultimate Warrior. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you warriors out there, you know. And, you know, it was a busy photo shoots. It was a busy day, you know, and then you were doing, they'd have cubicles, a line of cubicles, and you would do for promos, because for each individual towns. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't some like running the WWE on Monday Night Raw where at the bottom of the list they have, we're going to be in Pittsburgh, or we're going to be in here, or we're going to be there. They have whoever's working the different angles and everything. Look, Brawler. Abe Knuckleball Schwartz.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. But, and Ken Chi also.
Yes, I've heard about that.
Yeah, and, Doink. Yep, he was a doink also. There was, what, 4 or 5 doinks.
Yeah.
Then you had the dinks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dink,
dink.
wink, and pink. The little guys.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
that was funny.
yes.
How was
Yeah, Mr. Ottman, I
Yes.
just want to let you know, a friend of mine who
Yeah.
wanted to be here
Yeah.
couldn't, but he wanted me to say hi for you because
Yeah.
he's got a show out in San Bernardino.
Oh, that's
Mr.
cool.
Jesse Hernandez.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know Jesse.
Yeah, I'm a former student.
Oh, that's
of his.
awesome. Please tell him hi from me. That's awesome.
I will
That's
say
a
that
great
too.
blast from the past. Yeah, he was always out here when we worked in Florida. We worked out here in California.
Yeah, she's got a show tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's why he's not here right now.
He's a good guy. He's a very
And one thing too, I was 9 years old when I went to my first live wrestling show,
Oh,
and you and Earthquake went up against Ted DiBiase and Erwin R. Shyster.
Oh, that's awesome,
You main
yeah.
evented in L.A. So
Oh, that's
the very
cool.
first one I went to was
yeah.
you.
Yeah. The best experience, man, like I'm telling you, in high school, you know, because I come from a lower middle class family, man, you know, wasn't in the cards. I went with the high school, you know, and I got to go to a live event, man. I was like hooked. I was hooked at a young age as a kid. You know, that's what's cool about the network now, is you know, kids these guys' ages can watch. You know, they just put on new NWA tapes. They've got on several other, you know, tapes. You know, he's always accumulating and adding more to the profile.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of cool. You can, a grandfather, a son, and a grandson can sit down and watch different stuff and compare the new product or what's going on now, and they can get a view, you know, a view of what you watched when you were that age. I think the network is such an awesome deal.
Yeah.
I got it. My wife manages several big apartment buildings in St. Petersburg.
Oh wow.
She has like about 800 units that she deals with. But one of our places that she had down there is a student housing building, and we get students. They come to St. Pete from France, from Turkey, from Italy. I mean, just all over, and they come there. And some of these places they hadn't seen wrestling before. Well, they don't, you know, allow that kind of violence on the screen and stuff. You know, so you think with a network everybody can see it, but it ain't that way. And you know, and we have to pay. You know, this big screen in the front in the main lobby of, and the rooms are all upstairs, and they're like fans now. They go home after they leave from school here, and you know, and they have something to watch. You know, as far as the networking that goes, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Turn them on to, you know, they're like, oh, and they're out there and they sound like a fan or any other fan, you know, so it's kind of neat, you know, to share that with them. There's Teddy there.
That was back at the Sports Arena days when you guys were LA Sports Arena.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
it's a Staples Center. The Sports Arena was a lot
Cow
different.
Palace, there's another historical place, man.
Oh, San Francisco.
Oh, man, yeah.
What was your favorite city to work in?
Man, all of them. I liked working in small towns, I like big towns. Like I said, I've worked, wrestled in 44 different countries. It was always cool going overseas and meeting different people and stuff, and you know, and seeing everything. But I mean, all the arenas. I got to work in, you know, Madison Square Garden. The first time I worked there, I was like, oh my God, you know, this is like, you know, every great boxer, every basketball team. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I worked in 2 of the Boston Gardens. Worked in Maple Leaf Gardens in Canada. You know, I mean, just, you know, LA Coliseum. You know, the Cow Palace, the Astrodome. I worked there. You know, I mean, just, and you know, I enjoyed working. I came in my time when I started on the road. I worked in territories.
Yeah.
You know, and so I had that under my belt too. So I got a chance to work with great guys that I watched coming up, you know, as a kid. You know, I've worked with Bruiser, along with Bruiser Brody and you know, Shawn Michaels. Jose Lothario was his teacher, and my first territory was Texas.
Oh wow.
And Shawn Michaels was there. Nick Kaninsky, which is Gene Kaninsky, one of his sons, okay, was there. He was world champion. you know, the Guerreros, all of them at one point there. You know, Chavo, Mondo, Hector. Okay, and even they worked an angle where we did TV, where they brought Gory in, and here he was like pushing 80.
Yeah.
And a guy named Al Madrill, he lives out here in California now.
Mm-hmm.
And they did an angle, and they pile drived an 80-year-old guy on the stage, you know. I'm like, I was like, oh my God. You know, I mean, I got to work with One Man Gang there. You know, when he was, you know, before he was a King to Dream.
He still wrestles, doesn't he?
No, he don't
No,
wrestle.
I
No,
think
no,
he's
no.
just a
He's going to be
physio
with
right
me in when we go to WrestleCon this year. Yeah. I'm going, there's a ton of us going to be there.
Where's that going to be?
In New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Oh,
WrestleMania.
Wow,
Yeah,
okay.
it's in conjunction with WrestleMania.
Oh, that's
Yeah, so it's going to be, I'm real excited about that. I was at Orlando last year, it was just incredible. People from all over the world. I mean, there's a ton of wrestling events going on. And that, I'm a big Lucha Underground guy too. I just want you guys to know that. Okay,
Oh,
love
yeah.
Lucha Underground.
I personally know.
I think it's
some
ECW
of the referees
on steroids.
yeah.
You know, I love
Death
it.
matches.
I love it, man.
Your wife has to be very understanding. You have to have like the most understanding wife.
She
I'm
wasn't
serious.
a fan, but she's a fan now.
In terms of all the traveling and
Oh, no problem.
Whose idea was it to make the napkin? I'm gonna sit down.
There you go. That was the office. I got still people, I tell people, that hate me for turning on the Bushwhackers. And Luke is one of my best friends.
Yeah, I've met him. He's a good
Okay,
guy.
he's awesome. He's awesome. But I get guys that send me stuff on Facebook and that, you know.
Wow.
How could you do that? You're horrible. Blah blah. I said, you know how long ago it was? I said, are you serious? You take us to the grave with you or what? You know?
Don't you know? Yeah, more open. Wow.
Yeah, but it's funny though. I enjoy it. I mean,
Well, you gotta love those fans.
you know. So it's
Years later, it still hurts.
Yeah, Lucha
Yeah.
Underground lost a lot of talent this year.
Oh man.
Well,
They changed the temple.
Did they change the temple?
Yeah, they moved it completely
Well,
different.
they've been videoing now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I went to their taping the other day.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I mean, it's different. I like
So
the
they're out of the
old-
warehouse now?
Turned another warehouse. It's actually a meat cooler, a giant meat cooler. Really?
Whoa.
Giant fans up in the ceiling.
Wow.
Los Angeles. Yeah.
But they have they may have lost some, but I'm sure they got some.
They got some good
Is
talent.
Triple H still first in a lot of times?
I've seen a lot of those guys in Impact now.
Oh, in Impact?
Now Impact and Lucha Underground are going to go heads up with each other.
Impact's losing a lot of talent though too.
Well, they lost EC3 going over.
Yeah, Bobby Lashley's
Bobby Lashley.
Viable. They cut all the guys, got rid of the guys that were under contract, right?
Well, yeah, they want to. What they're trying to do is book just strictly on a show basis versus contract.
Guys got to eat.
Yeah.
So
They got a good roster right now.
Yeah, bills to pay.
Nah, I don't want. You're talking Impact?
Yeah, right now I think they got one of the best.
They're losing some of the big guys. They're losing like Lashley, EC3. They're losing.
Lashley's awesome.
I just talked to Lashley.
His
I'm
second
a,
time around,
I'm
hopefully,
a-
is better than the first.
Awesome.
Well, he's going back.
I'm a school teacher, and so I talked to Lashley the other day, and I said, hey, you know, can you send me a picture for my kids, just
Yeah.
like to inspire them, like to stay in school? He goes,
Yeah.
yeah. He goes, I got you covered. You know, nice guy, but he's heading back to WWE too.
You know, it's good. You know, my nephew's Cody, and
Oh, I know. I
Dustin's
saw
my
that.
nephew.
That's incredible.
And,
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
I'm
I was
happy
reading
he's
that.
out- He's doing what he's doing.
He, you know, he actually made it on the independent circuit. You know,
Well, I think it's good for him because he was a two-time state champion in Georgia as an amateur in high school. He's a great wrestling background. His dad, awesome. Dustin's awesome. Okay, Gold Dust.
no, I am.
Oh, good guy.
You know, I mean, my other brother-in-law is Sags and the Nasty Boys. My other brother-in-law from my first marriage. Yeah. So yeah, dysfunctional family. Yeah.
You know, I'll tell you the one thing though with Cody, what's nice now,
Yeah.
I think WWE underutilized his talent. And so now, since he left and has shown that I can make it without you, when he'll come back and he'll be
No
more
one to bring him
marketable.
back. It was to his benefit
Yep,
as a wrestler to do what he's doing now.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Go to Japan, go, to England and Europe and do the independents here and stuff like that. The independents, I go to watch independent shows in Florida. They are the territories of now. That's where all the talent and everything is coming from. You got guys that have been working 15 years. Now there's some guys that are horrible, and you know what I'm saying, it's a learning curve, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of guys out there training guys that have no reason to be training guys. You know what I'm saying? But there's such a great talent pool that I think it's just a really cool thing. I mean, and I'm glad to see that it's evolving that way. In England, I mean, you know, they're a hotbed. England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales is producing some great work. I mean, you know,
UK tournament on the on their network.
How was it like working with Earthquake and tag
Quake's
partner
awesome.
with?
Quake wrestled. Quake was an Olympic wrestler in Canada. Okay. He wrestled sumo. He was there for 1 year in Japan, and he was undefeated. But he just couldn't put up. For you to be around it and know what it entails, it's just it's a whole different ball of wax. But he was undefeated. I mean, that's where he broke in pro over there with with Shoei Baba. But he wrestled for LSU here in the States. I mean, he was a fantastic amateur wrestler. You know, and a great guy. I mean, moved great and that. I loved working with him because we could work so similar and do a lot of the same stuff, and it made us, you know, look like you could go out there and, you know, kick somebody's butt. You know what I'm saying? And even when they kind of made us kind of heel face for a short period of time, we could still kick butt and do the things we were doing, but with a smile on our face. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of, we were having fun. But, I mean, it's great. I mean, you know, we were right when his cancer came back the second time. We were fixing to go out and we were start doing some indie stuff and overseas stuff. And you know, he went home for his his stepson's wedding in Orlando, and that's when he called me on the phone and let me know that the cancer was bad. You know, but his son Johnny is best friends with my oldest son Bert, and so it's, you know, I'm glad they got that relationship too. You know, it's a cool thing.
You were great though as a heel, you know, in both ways. I enjoyed it.
I like, you know, you gotta love the business. I mean, that's one of the things. It's not just a way to an end, it's to make money. It's you gotta love. I was a wrestling fan. I wrestled. And I'm still a wrestling fan, you know. That makes any sense.
Yeah.
You know, I still feel the same kind of way about it. I mean, you know, it's great. It's what I was raised on, you know, and everybody has their personal opinions about, you know, different things. You know, they're like we're in some understanding. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has an opinion.
And
You know, and the internet is full of armchair bookers and promoters. You know what I'm saying? That oh, this guy's this or this guy's that. You know.
And
Yes.
Working with Taker, how was it?
Taker was awesome. I had his first matches. You know, I had the coffee, the dust put on me from the current. You know, and his manager was also awesome. Great guy. Great guy. I miss him. Yeah. There's Quaker there.
Yep.
yeah.
Jake's. Sit on Jake's snake.
Quake burgers,
Oh, yeah.
everyone?
Oh, sure.
We got something we had made for our store that we want to sign.
Oh, cool, sure. Anything you want me to do?
We'll show that here in a minute.
Oh, no
I'm
problem.
gonna introduce you and then just, if you could go ahead and let them know you're here.